Motion Pro asks you, what's in your toolbox? The best teams in AMA Pro Flat Track use Motion Pro specialty tools. Motion Pro specialty tools make it easier to work on your ride so you can spend less time wrenching and more time riding. When it comes time to work on your bike, look for fine Motion Pro products at your local dealer or check us out on the web at www.motionpro.com. What's in your toolbox? Make it Motion Pro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, is the time what we have been waiting for. The Harley-Davidson GNC1 presented by Vance and Hines main event, and it's time for your starting lineup. At the tail end of the field from Bucyrus, Ohio, number 24F, J.R. Addison. 17th starter from Warrington, Pennsylvania, the 54A, Dan Bromley. Starting 16th from Mossville, Illinois, the leader of the FBI, the Fast Boys from Illinois, number 27, Robbie Pearson. Starting 15th from Fremont, California, it's the California Kid, number 49, Chad Coase. Starting 14th from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, two-time Daytona 200 winner, number 69G, it's Danny Eslick. Starting in the 13th starting spot from Mount Gilead, Ohio, last year's Rookie of the Year, number 20, Jared Vanderkoy. Row number 2, the factory Harley-Davidson rider from Eatonville, Washington, number 6, the Bullet, Brad Baker. Starting 11th from Wynn, Michigan, last week's winner at Peoria TT, number 17, Henry Wiles. On the factory Triumph Bonneville from Glenmore, Pennsylvania, the 55, Jake Shoemaker. Starting 9th from Oxford, Pennsylvania, the big number 44, Brendan Robinson. Starting 8th from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, number 71, Don Mullen. Starting 7th, first pick on row number 2 from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, currently 3rd in the point standings, number 5, Jersey, Jake Johnson. Now we go to the riders on the front row. From Center Hill, Florida, number 2, Kenny Coolbeth Jr. 5th rider on the front row from Salinas, California, it's the Weerbach Racing Kawasaki, number 14, Briar Bauman. 4th pick on the front row from Graham, Washington, number 69, Slammin' Sammy Halbert. 3rd pick is second in the points from Swartz Creek, Michigan, number 42, Brian Smith. Starting second, our points leader, 3-time Grand National champion from Clio, Michigan, number 1, Jared Mees. On the pole from Alton, Illinois, TheBreaksAuto.com, Martin Trucking, Evel Knievel Museum rider, number 23, Jeffrey Carver. That is the 18 fastest riders here in the central New York area. Chris Carr, it's time for our main event.
Time for our main event as they get an out lap here. I don't believe there was any track prep done between the GNC2 race.
They're going to send them around one more lap.
Send them around one complete lap. We were so busy focused on the podium from GNC2, I didn't notice if there was any work done to the racetrack.
Looks like it's wetter up there for sure.
A little wet up on the very near top of the racetrack. These motorcycles have a little bit more power and a more purpose-built chassis. I believe they're going to have the option to run more lines than what we saw in the GNC2 race. These bikes are designed to go left on dirt a little bit more than the GNC2 bikes. So it's going to be very interesting which engine combination is going to be big king here. The venerable XR750, as we see with our pole sitter Jeffrey Carver Jr. and defending champ Jared Mees. The Kawasaki power plant of Brian Smith, the only rider to win on a Kawasaki on half-mile competition. We got the Triumph of Jake Shoemaker lined up in 10th. So we have 3 different brands in this main event. It's going to be fun to watch.
Carver, first pick. He'll take that second spot on the first row. Looks like Jared Mees, who is our second pick, looks like he's going to go inside. Carver's trying to figure out if he wants to go There's a little orange mark that's painted on the dirt. Carver's going to take that second spot. Meese is looking at the inside, says right here, or do I want the outside? Meese looks like he's going to the very inside. Is he playing possum, or is he going? Nope. He's pulling in, so I mean Smith will have that third starting spot. He's going to go right as close to Carver, I believe. Nope, now he's going to leave a gap. So they're feeling the dirt with their boot and their steel shoes, see if they can feel any traction.
It's kind of interesting starting spot scenario here. Hard to see from this angle. They have a window within their. They have a 4-foot gap in which they can choose to line up their front wheel. Carver appears to be going to the outside edge of his 4-foot block.
I think they have to start on that orange mark on the dirt now, is what they've been telling the riders lately.
Well, very interesting.
That's why Moorhead was getting a little upset, because Carver kept trying to scoot over. We can see the orange marks. You can see that's where all their front wheels are at.
Gotcha.
So
Meese makes sense to me.
Meese takes the inside starting spot after that was second pick. Carver takes that second spot. It looks like Halbert will start third. Smith is going to start fourth. Bauman fifth, and on the outside of the front row is the 44. Brandon Robinson, the 44 bike, has been having a great season on the Kennedy Racing Harley-Davidson. He's from Oxford, Pennsylvania. He's currently in the 4th spot in point standings.
We've seen a lot of great starts from the very second, third, fourth spot. Occasionally, our pole sitter will get a good jump. Going to be interesting if Jared Meese benefits from going to the inside of pole sitter Jeffrey Carver Jr. Or if Ryan Smith in the number 4 spot might be in the honey spot with a good angle going into turn 1.
Zanatti Racing bikes on the inside of row number 2, the 5 and the 2. Johnson and Coolbeth.
And Katie Coolbeth electing to go to the inside of row 2 instead of going to the outside of outside of row 1. So Kenny Coolbeth, a little strategy, says I'm going to line up on the inside. He was lined up 6th originally.
So Robinson's on the front row, number 44. He was supposed to be the 3rd pick on the 2nd row. So everybody else says, I don't want to start way out there. So interesting starting. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 25-lap Grand National main event here in Central New York, right here at Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. First time event. The red light is on. Bikes are in gear. There's one yellow light. There's one more yellow. And then we race here in New York. And they're off, ladies and gentlemen, from the inside. The whole shot, the 23 Carver. Now here comes Meese on the number 1 bike.
And Meese gets a good aggressive run. And we see from the 2nd row, the number 5 and the number 2 move their way up there as we have a rider down.
44, Robinson is down. His leg is trapped underneath that motorcycle, and he's trying to get up. We're going to race until we see red. I do see yellow flag waving. We're going to keep going until we see a red flag, and they are shut it down. So Robinson gets stuck underneath that motorcycle. Now he appears to get up. Al Ludington picks that motorcycle up, and Dale Jones and the other AMA tech officials are headed out there right now. So tough break for the 44. We'll take a look at the replay.
I guess on the outside of front row wasn't the place to be. You end up becoming the 10-pin on the bowling alley with that one.
Here we go. Where's Robinson at? Oh, he's right here.
Yeah, did not get to the corner very well.
Vanderkoy got a little bump.
Coming from row 3 with a great start.
Coolbeth was already up to the 4th spot, and he kind of got pinched off coming off of turn number 2, so they're going to sort things out. Robinson has the ability right now to rejoin the pack. They told him if you can't get up,
unless the bike is pinned, his leg is pinned underneath it, and he's incapable of picking it up. He appears to be okay. I'm not sure what kind of damage to the number 44 machine, but he does have an option to going to a backup motorcycle.
I didn't see a left foot peg on that motorcycle, so he possibly will have to go to his backup bike. Everybody else is coming back around to get to their original starting spot, and we'll stage them up and do it again.
Try this one again.
Now they're taking a look at the right side of the motorcycle. Actually on that 44 bike is Brett Armbruster and Jerry Kennedy, team owner and crew chief.
I think they're going to try and determine whether or not they're going to, looks like they're going to head over and grab the spare motorcycle.
And Robinson does the
thing.
Pull
the transponder off the front of the bike.
Yep.
Going to go switch it over.
So 44 bike going to the backup motorcycle, and 44 is trying to shake it off a little bit.
Tough break, Brandon Robinson. Not a very good start. I guess Coolbeth and Johnson had the right idea by foregoing that outside starting spot on the front row. A little bit of dust that kind of lands over on the outside starting position from the racing line on the front straightaway. Not an ideal spot, because we saw riders from the 3rd row making their way past the 44 by the time he got to turn 1.
So they grabbed the transponder off the fork tube of the old bike, put it on the new bike. Robinson said, hey, man, get it up here. Let's bring it around, because everybody else is sitting ready to go on that front straightaway. So we have a complete restart. Now Robinson will go all the way back to the 4th row, so we'll have 5 bikes left on the front row. We'll see if Robinson can make a charge from the very back of the pack.
But they'll make him start in the same position on row 4, so not an ideal position to start from. We didn't see much from the number 6. Brad Baker kind of had a decent start from the outside 2nd row. He's going to have to make something happen if he wants a good result tonight too.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, complete restart here at Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. Watch for the green light, and they are off.
Quick one there, and they
Carver.
Repeat of the first start. Jeffrey Carver gets to the corner, but this time he doesn't open up the door for the number 1 of Jared Mees as they chase the moisture up the top.
Coolbeth again gets a good start from the back, and now Sammy Halbert and Briar Bauman are duking it out for 3rd. That's going to allow Coolbeth to come up the inside. He's going to try to take that 3rd spot away. Now Brian Smith goes by Coolbeth into turn number 3.
Coolbeth and Smith battling around the bottom side of the racetrack, but out front, Jeffrey Carver Jr. leads at the end of lap 1, followed closely by the number 1. Mees up the inside into turn 1, makes the pass.
New leader in turns 1 and 2. It's Jared Mees out front. Carver says, I don't think so, not so fast. He grabs a handful. Now they switch spots on the racetrack.
Kind of crossing over lines just a little bit there, headed off at turn 2, but Jared Mees to the front right now. This is what he needs. He wants to pad his point lead headed to the miles, but Carver retaliating, almost makes a good drive off turn 4 to get back into the lead.
And look who's in 3rd spot right now. It's the black and green Kawasaki, the 42. Brian Smith worked his way up to 3rd. He'll set his sights now at Carver, and Mees starting to pull away just a little bit from Carver. Smith now in 3rd.
Yeah, Smith running a good lap. He found himself kind of back in the 5th, 6th spot the first lap or so. 3 laps in the books, and he finds his way in 3rd, in sights of our leaders.
It's Jared Mees out front. 2nd is Carver. 3rd, Smith. 4th is Sammy Halbert. 5th is Kenny Coolbeth.
Out front, though, Jared Mees hooks it up pretty decent coming off of turn 2. He's not able to shake the 23 of Carver. Carver did sit on the pole for this main event. We know he knows how to get around the Rolling Wheels track, but then Brian Smith running a low line through the middle of 3 and 4, unable to make a good drive off turn 4, however.
It's Mees out front, Carver in 2nd. Carver appears to be a little bit faster down here in 3 and 4, and this is allowing Brian Smith to catch up. We got 3 riders, including our points leader, and 2nd in points, 1st and 3rd on the racetrack.
Lap times in the high 26s, low 27s. Not exactly as fast as what we saw in the semifinals. Carver trying to run cut off turns 3 and 4 and beat Mees to the wall coming off. Not able to do so.
It's Mees out front, Carver in 2nd, Brian Smith 3rd, Sammy Halbert still in 4th with Kenny Coolbeth in the 5th spot. Jake Johnson behind him, Briar Bauman, Jared Vandekoy, Brad Baker, and Henry Wiles round out your top 10.
I tell you what, this is a very technical and difficult racetrack for these guys to get a hold of. Jared Mees out front is running a line that he feels comfortable with, one that he can feel a little bit of tug on his arms under acceleration. But he's got 2 guys breathing down his neck, feeling the same things. This could turn out to be a barn burner, folks, not only for tonight's race, but also a lot of championship implications right here.
Wow, look how high Smith is going down there in turn number 2, trying to get some traction and get the drive off turn 2. Cost him just a little bit. Still Mees, Carver 1 and 2 with Smith in 3rd.
Out front, our defending champion, riding smooth, just kind of sends it off into turn 3, not getting real hard on the gas, trying to keep the wheels in line as best as possible. Carver runs out of racetrack, bouncing off the concrete wall, coming off at turn 4, doing everything he can to stay with our leader.
Nice entry to turn 1 Carver had, but he loses it coming off of turn number 2. Chris talked about that earlier. Mees gets up 2 a little bit stronger. Carver got into the front straightaway wall last time by. Let's see if he does it again.
Well, Carver was going through the middle of the corner. This time he goes a little wider, runs up on the Jared Mees line, turns a little bit later, get the bike straighter a little bit sooner, parallels off, no issues that time by.
Still Mees out front, Carver in 2nd, Smith is in the 3rd spot. Sammy Halbert now starting to close up on the leaders in 4th, number 69. Behind him is Coolbeth in 5th, Jake Johnson 6th.
You know, we've seen a lot of racetracks all year long, real tough and real fast and real grippy. This is a different style of racetrack here. It's a point and shoot. It's slick. It's hard to find traction, and the coolest throttle hand we're seeing. It doesn't matter if you're on a Harley or a Kawasaki. They're both equally as good in this particular event.
Brian Smith takes a look at the low line going into turn 1. He's getting tired of following the 23 bike. He knows he needs to get up there and get closer to the number 1 to keep his championship points tighter. Right now, the man on the move is actually the 20 of Vanderkoy. He's come from the 3rd row. He's all the way up to 6th place. He threw it away in his heat race, Chris.
Was moving forward. Yeah.
Had an excellent semifinal.
Well, the way things are right now, the way this race is shaping out, Jeffrey Carver Jr. is Jared Mees' best friend right now as far as the championship. This is a 7-point gap, not including laps led, most laps led. As of right now, Jared Mees has led 10. 3 more laps, he locks in 1 championship point. But the difference between 1st and 3rd is 7 for a total of 8. He could very well, if things don't change right here, Jared Mees could lead with a 20-point lead headed to Springfield.
Wow. It's Meese out front, Carver in 2nd. Brian Smith getting tired of following right there.
Excuse me, 19-point lead.
That's right. We were at 11 when we started. Now Sammy Halbert's actually catching up to the 42. That isn't what he needs at all.
No, not at all. But Sammy Halbert has learned to know when to turn the throttle back in order to go forward. This is the type of racetrack where getting aggressive does not pay in a lower lap time. But we also see Kenny Coolbeth Jr. not losing touch from Halbert either. He tends to get a little bit better as the race goes on. Kenny Coolbeth Jr., he could be fighting for the win here shortly as well.
Coming up next time by the
Lucky red rotor on Coolbeth too.
Lucky 13 lap awards coming up here soon for our leader. Right now it's Jared Meese out front, Carver in 2nd, Smith in 3rd, and he's under attack by the 69 of Halbert, and Coolbeth is right there on the number 2 bike. He's coming to the front also. Again, Chris Carr pointed out with that glowing brake rotor, typical for the 2 bike. Halfway flags.
McElroy packaging. Oh, up the inside. Aggressive move. Cuts off the corner. The 42 of Brian Smith takes over the 2nd position. That's what he needs to stay in touch with our defending champion.
There you go. So Smith goes into 2nd right there as we saw the Lucky Lap 13 award from McElroy Packaging goes out to Jared Meese, who led lap number 13. Some extra money from McElroy Packaging. Smith now in 2nd. He'll set his sights on the leader.
Brian Smith digging deep. He saw I think he might have done a little bit of the math too. He says, you know what? I'd like the points to be a little bit closer than that headed to Springfield.
Here comes Chris Carr. Chris is applying the pressure on the 69 bike, trying to get up there and take that 4 spot away.
Sammy Halbert. You said Chris Carr.
Chris Carr. I was excited for you, man. You were doing good.
Well, Halbert doing a good job. He's going to put some pressure on Carver now. Carver's rhythm maybe busted just a little bit by having the number 42 in front of him.
But he also coming as the 2 of Kenny Coolbeth is right there on Sammy Halbert, so they're catching up to Carver. Coolbeth's running a completely different line through 1 and 2 with that brake rotor glowing red. That's typical style, and he passes Sammy.
Yeah, Coolbeth gets by through the middle of 1 and 2, completes a pass by turn 2. But so far, no real dent in the lead by the 42. Not able to narrow the gap on our race leader, Jared Meese.
Coolbeth now set his sights on our early leader, the 23 of Jeffrey Carver. 69 Sammy Halbert's not done for sure, but I like the different line that Coolbeth's running, dragging that rear brake, maybe no wheel spin coming through that turns 1 and 2. He sees the 23 bike now.
Well, some of the riders ride a lot of rear brake through the middle of the corner and the exit to try and lug the bike down, change the geometry, squat it down, and also get to control the amount of wheel spin. Instead of controlling with the throttle, they're controlling with their right foot, and that's why we see that cherry red brake rotor on the number 2 of Coolbeth.
So Meese is looking for his 4th win of the season. Smith already has 4, right?
Yes, he does.
So that would put them in
4.
That would put them in a tie for the most wins. So that also is going to make it interesting for the championship.
It certainly will. An advantage goes to Meese. Not only is he equal in wins, but that lap by last time, Brian Smith eats a little less than 2/10 into our leader. Brian Smith is not giving up, folks. This one's not over with 7 to go.
Couple of different lines going into turn number 1 again. Everybody's chasing up the racetrack, trying to find the best way, the smoothest way, the tackiest way through the corners. Meese and Smith 1 and 2. Carver, Coolbeth, Sammy Halbert, Vanderkoy's kind of settled into that 6th spot. Jake Johnson, Briar Bauman, Robbie Pearson, Brandon Robinson from the 4th row is up to 10th.
On a backup motorcycle that may not have hit in the racetrack, that's a pretty impressive run. Last time by, 0.8 of a second gap from Jared Meese to Brian Smith. This time by, the gap is 8.5.
8.5. Yep.
8.5. No gain that lap. Little moving out there for Jared Mees at lap 5.
Meese out front next time by. I think they're going to see the 5 lap to go board coming up pretty soon. It is now coming out. Here's Meese, your leader, bringing them off of 4. Jared Meese, 5 more laps around. Smith in second. Starting to get a little bit dusty out front. Third is Carver. Fourth is Coolbad.
Good run up front for the number 1, Jared Mees, clicking off the laps, lap after lap. He's been running consistent 27 4s the last several laps, 3s and 4s, not making any mistakes, hitting his marks, keeping his rhythm. Last lap by, Smith was 0.12 of a second slower, not really gaining. Smith's going to have to dig a little bit deeper to inch forward.
Starting to look like Meese might have took a look over shoulder right there. So Meese out front, your points leader by 11 before we started this race. He's already picked up 1 more point by leading the most laps, so he's up front by 12.
12-point lead at the moment. Going to have to finish this one off with less than 5 to go. Coming by to B3 to go.
Jared Meese out front, Brian Smith in second, Carver third, Coolbeth fourth, and Halbert in the 5th spot. 3 to go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your points leader. And he's catching up to Brad Baker.
Yeah, Baker's struggling, running around in the 17th position. That sounds like his bike might be a little off song. He earlier was running in the 10th
Coolbeth's
position.
going backwards in a hurry. He's back into, now he went back to 9th already, so something happened to the number 2 bike of Coolbeth off the pace.
Tough break for Kenny Coolbeth.
He's sitting outside the track in turn number 4. Man, disappointing.
Out front, Jared Mees stretches his lead over to over 1.2 seconds with 2 laps to go. Jared Mees on cruise control, dominating from very early on in this one, doing what he needs to do to retain that number 1 plate.
Meese out front, a lap and a half remaining down the back straightaway. It's getting a little bit dusty. Probably getting in some lap traffic with the white flag going to come out this time by Smith in second. Carver on the podium spot right now in third. Sammy Halbert fourth. And now Vandekoy looking for his back-to-back top 5 finish.
Yeah, great run by Jared Vandekoy. 1 lap to go for defending champion and current point leader Jared Mees, showing a way around, rolling wheels, rolling himself to another victory.
Down the back straightaway for the final time. It's your defending Grand National champion looking for his 4th Grand National championship. It's Jared Meese out front, number 1. He needs to finish 1 more corner. Here he comes to the final corner. It's Jared Meese taking the victory out front. It's going to be Meese coming up to Brad Baker. There's your winner, number 1. Here comes second.
Wow.
Smith by about a bike length over Carver. Halbert will get that 4th spot. Vandekoy will get 5th right here at Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. What a ride by Meese. He is looking for that championship. That is his 20th Grand National victory and his 4th win of the season, which ties Brian Smith. Both of them have 4 wins. Rest of the finishers are coming across the start-finish line right now. A little bit deeper in the dust. There's Baker to come as the last bike riding. He will get that 16th spot. Tough break for Kenny Coolbeth, the number 2. Will get credited with 17th. Again, Meese, your winner. Brian Smith second, Jeffrey Carver third, Sammy Halbert fourth. Jared Vandekoy goes back-to-back top 5 finishes. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, here at Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. Put your hands together for the jammer, Jared Meese, picking up a victory. You can see Johnson stops by to pick up his teammate. Meese forgot the checkered flag.
Yeah, he missed the handoff there. I guess he was watching the Olympics relay races.
He's a wrestler. He's not a football player getting a handoff. So
there you go. Jared Meese, dominating race for him tonight. The 2 guys that are chasing for the championship tonight, a little bit of an edge to the number 1, Jared Meese. But Brian Smith gave it a heck of a run. This, coming into this event, I thought they'd both like this racetrack for different reasons. And in the end, Harley-Davidson mounted. Jared Meese shows them the way around Rolling Wheels Raceway.
So how many more points is he ahead? He got the win, got the most.
He got a 19-point lead, headed to Springfield.
You already got that figured out. We'll take a look at a replay as we got to see the 25-lap main event unfold right here in front of our eyes in Central New York. Here's a look at the start, Chris Carr. Watch the number 1 on the right, and the 23 rockets off the line.
Yeah, great start by the 23 of Carver. Keeps the front end low, keeps the bike driving forward. This time, previous start, Meese was able to get through the corner, but early on, Jared Meese runs it up the inside, makes the pass on Carver, very similar to what we saw the 42 of Smith do later in the race for the 2nd position. From that point on, it was Jared Meese's race to win. Here's Smith making a pass in a similar fashion for 2nd.
All right, we'll take a look at the finish right here. You see Jared Meese doing a burnout on the front straightaway. Here's the double checkered flags going out to the number 1 bike, taking the win. Second, barely, is the 42, just over the 23. Right behind him is a 69. Here he is, missing the handoff on the start-finish line. Whoops.
Took his eye off the flag. I saw that. You could see Jared Mee's attention
He was already
diverted.
He was looking at the finish line.
He was looking to go pick up Jerry Duncan, who was the gentleman on the back of his bike on the victory lap.
Let's go down to Kim Kuhn with third place.
Yeah, Jeffrey Crover getting some congratulations down here. Jeffrey, nice race, a podium finish. You did have second there for a little bit, lost it to Brian Smith. Was there something you could have done differently to hold on to that spot?
I was kind of riding my brakes a little hard, and I lost before halfway, so I had to figure out how to ride again without any brakes. And once I kind of got figured out and let him come back in, I was able to kind of make some moves down and run up on Brian. And I saw a couple spots coming off of both corners where there's a little bit of moisture underneath, and just kind of got squared up and almost got him at the line. I was really happy with the charge and everything, and happy with how the team did. Briggs Auto, they got a big team here. Really helped me out. Martin Trucking, the Evel Knievel Hall of Fame Museum in Topeka, Kansas, and Rye Helmets Motion Pro, all my friends and family back home. Really cool. Got a second last year in Delaware, and slippery little tracks. I love them. It's a really finesse game. So really, really happy to be up here and be with the two championship contenders and with the new team, and hoping to get that W here soon.
Congratulations. That's Jeffrey Carver Jr. with a third place finish.
Good, solid ride by Carver on that new ride. He just got it a few weeks ago, and he made good use of it tonight.
Yeah, getting a hug there from Sarah Irby Goad, wife of Johnny Goad, his longtime tuner, who tuned for Ricky Graham in his championship year in 1993.
And Kim is ready with our second place finisher. Actually, yeah, second place finisher, Brian Smith.
Yeah, Scotty, Brian Smith. Brian, we saw you make the move on Carver. Then you had Meese in your sights. Was there something more you could have used to get to the point?
Just a little more traction than the other guys. Just put myself behind the 8-ball starting out in fourth or whatever I did, and got stuck behind Jeffrey too long, and by the time I finally got around him, Jared had a gap on me. I tried reeling him in, and just didn't work, unfortunately. We were like dead heat. Every time I'd try to make up any time, I'd mess up. He'd mess up, I'd catch him, then I'd try to go harder, and I'd mess up again. So it's one of them tracks, man. It's just tippy-toeing around there, but did the best I could today.
Still a second place finish. That's Brian Smith.
Good job, Brian Smith, finishing in that second spot, trying to keep his championship hopes alive. And there's a look at Jared Meese pulling up and doing a burnout here on the front straightaway, letting that XR750 turn that back wheel as fast as it can.
Smoking off a little bit of that Dunlop spec tire there on the rear of his XR750, but a solid performance by our defending champion. Leaving here with a 19-point lead is what he came here for. Mission accomplished.
All right, I believe Kim Kuhn is caught up with tonight's winner.
Yeah, Jared Meese celebrating here on the podium. Jared, 20th Grand National win. Congratulations. You were aggressive for the entire race. Biggest challenge you faced keeping out front all night?
Just not overriding the racetrack, I knew, watching the heat races and knew what a good start and running your own race and not trying to push so hard to catch the guy in front of you to make more mistakes. So I wanted to go there and I clicked my laps over and over and over again, and we made a few changes for the main event. Hats off to Kenny Tolbert, Sammy Sweet, Jerry, Jimmy Wood, my entire team, suspension, a little bit of pipes. Just having the knowledge of Kenny Tolbert behind you and the expertise of Jimmy Wood with the Moto Station suspension, it's phenomenal what we're doing this year, honestly. I mean, Brian was the guy to beat. He was. I mean, he all day long, he was so tough. And I'm like, man, he is really riding strong, on these half miles lately, and I knew I needed to get a good start and just run my own race. But hats off to the whole Rogers Racing, Las Vegas, Harley-Davidson, Twin Power, Recluse, Saddleman, NGK Spark Plugs, SDI Insulation, Bell, Millennium Technologies, Bell Ray, Montgomeryville Cycle Center, DFW, Reamons, Weisco Pistons, Motion Pro, Flat Track Live, just a long list, Bell Helmets, TCX Boots, KW Raceway, Moto Station, Race Tech, Jimmy Wood. It's an honor to have these guys on my team. Millennium Technologies for all their expertise. I mean, it's just a phenomenal, XR that Kenny Tolbert tunes, and National Cycle's a real big one. Once again, Rogers Racing, them guys are behind me so big, and I see my buddy Pat Maroney out there. I got to give a shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Bobby Weiss is here, my whole parents, my family for coming out to this one. It's just Cometic Gasket, Tommy Doomey Fine Jewelers, Otten Racing, Crankworks. it's a big team effort, man. It really puts a lot into this. My wife, Nicole, especially, extremely fit for keeping me sharp. Jerry, everybody, Steve, everybody, just a huge shout out. My buddy Craig Pickett at home for training with me week in and week out, man. He really puts in a lot of time and effort with me too. So I don't know what to say. I'm so happy right now.
Not only did you take the win, but you widened the gap between yourself and second place for the GNC1 championship. However, we head to 2 mile tracks where Smith is typically a little bit stronger. How do you hold on to the lead?
Well, I mean, even though Smith has been really strong, it seems like we've been right there at his heels. Yeah, he definitely has the upper hand, and I guess, it's definitely not a secret that I might have a little bit more upper hand on the half miles, but they're all over, so now we finish out with 2 miles. But I needed to come here and beat him. I needed to come here and win, and he did exactly what he needed to do. I mean, he was the guy to beat, so if you can't win it, you got to finish right there, and he finished second. So he's a tough competitor, man, this year. They're really, clicking their marks. They're figuring out the half-mile stuff, so I'm excited for the last 2 races.
So are we. Congratulations. That's Jared Meese, your winner here at Rolling Wheels Raceway Park.
Good job, Jared Meese, picking up his 20th career Grand National victory, his 4th of the season. Also, congratulations goes out to Jared Vandekoy, our Motobat hard charger. That is the rider that passes the most people from his starting position. He started way back in the 3rd row at the 13th starting spot, finished all the way up in the top 5. And also, your Olin's Fast Lap Award goes to Flying Brian Smith on the 42 Kawasaki, Chris.
Yeah, good lap from him early on in the race, time of 26.724. Just a little less than a tenth quicker than the number 1 of Jared Meese, but a good fast lap early on in the race for the 42, chasing our winner.
Kim Coon's ready for one more award down there at the victory podium.
Yeah, the last award of the night from Thread Beast. We've got Jake Shoemaker, who's got the best dressed leathers of the day. So for that, you're getting a 3-month subscription to Thread Beast. Because you're a beast on the track, we want you to be a beast off the track. How does it feel?
I guess this is pretty cool. It's something I guess it'll help me out at home, not to spend so much money on nice clothes. So what can I say? Thank you.
Congratulations. That's Jake Shoemaker with Thread Beast Award.
All right, congratulations to Jake Shoemaker. Beast Mode here for you fans at home watching. Enter code GNC1 Beast Mode NY for 35% off your first package. Check it out while you can. Beast Mode. Man, what a race we had. What a day we had here back in Central New York. Man, I had a great time. The track was interesting. It dialed in. It got faster and faster. We had some great racing.
Hey, the Rolling Wheels Raceway presented a very good challenge for all of our riders. The beautiful thing about the AMA Pro Flat Track Series is, with the exception of the Springfield Mile and the Daytona Short Track, there's really no 2 tracks the same, and even those racetracks are different one night to the next, or from Memorial Day to Labor Day, where we're going in 2 weeks. This was a unique test for all of our riders. The champion contenders rose to the challenge, finishing 1 and 2
in both classes.
And I got to say, really impressive job by Jared Meese. The last 6 rounds on the AMA Pro Flat Track Series, he's either finished 1st or 2nd. And that's what you need to do. Not only got to be consistent, but when you're consistently at the front, it makes it tough to dethrone a guy.
Well, the point standings are what they are. 217 points for Meese. Now Smith is 16 points back with 201. And Smith has been historically faster on the mile, so we'll have to see how that unfolds. In 2 weeks from tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Springfield Mile, and that's coming up. That's the world's fastest dirt oval. And then shortly after that will be the Santa Rosa Mile.
Yeah, very interesting indeed, and certainly Jared Meese's performance, I believe, has eliminated all riders other than Brian Smith from winning the championship. No matter what happens, Jared Meese cannot finish worse than 2nd in the points from here on out. Jake Johnson sitting in 3rd with 162 points, has an outside chance at catching Brian Smith for 2nd. And 4th, the Brandon Robinson with 152, and at 142, Sammy Halbert. So a lot of positions can change over the course of the next 2 races, but the all-important one, the battle for the championship, the gap widens to 16 for Jared Meese.
That can be made up easily at Springfield or Santa Rosa. So it's going to come down to the wire, possibly here in the Harley-Davidson GNC1, presented by Vance and Hines class. On behalf of Kim Coon, beside me the 7-time Grand National Champion Chris Carr, I am Scotty Dubler. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Remember, you don't have to go straight home, but please go home straight. Good night, everyone, from the Rolling Wheels Raceway Park.